And in the news today, our top story is hey everyone, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do a news report, but I am going to be hanging out with you guys a little bit and chit chatting a little bit. Um, something was said on another person's page that I follow, and everybody's entitled to his opinion. So even though the opinion struck me kind of like caught me off guard, I should say, but it struck me kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not gonna be mad at that person for their opinion, and hopefully, if they should see this, they won't be mad at me for mine. And that's why I kind of put in the description. I'm not attacking anyone. Like, I'm not gonna drop a name. I'm not gonna say the person who said it or what have you. But I am gonna put my 2 cents in, and that's all this really is worth is 2 cents. But and kind of catch you up on a few things as well. So let's get started, shall we? And as you know, I'm attempting to, I put that in quotes, to do a doll of a video. So I chose one of the dolls that I have on the eBay page, and I'm pretty sure y'all remember her. And she's with the Gabriella kit, and for love or money, because I don't know, I can't remember the name I gave her, but I do have a video. If you go a few vids back, and you can see little Miss Ma'am, but she's from the Gabriella kit, and she has on her summer gear, and she's looking adorable. She does has a pacifier, which my dolls tend to not want to wear their pacifier, and she's a bigger kid. And usually with my bigger dolls, I'll put it in there if requested, but she already has one in. But if it's not requested, I usually, with my bigger toddler babies, don't automatically put one in. And she's in her summer gear because it's summer day. Finally, like, it's really going to be summer forever and ever. And um, if you're familiar with Georgia, we had some rough times. It was actually 30 something degrees last weekend, and now it is almost 80. So you never know what you're going to get. You just have to wake up and put on everything and hope something fits. But this is the baby of the video with her cute self. I'll turn her around just to let you know I clipped her hair. And when I say I did, my youngest daughter did. So her hair used to, if you can remember, landed like down here. She clipped it to a more realistic length for her age. And I appreciate that for her doing that. But she is, if you're interested in this little baby, she is on the eBay page, and you can snag her up before, if you want her. All right, guys. So while I am expressing my opinion, I'm going to be painting on a kit that I'm working on. It is the Felicity Kit from Bountiful Baby. And it's kind of fitting that the kit that I first showed you, she's from Irresistibles, and she's the Gabriella kit. And the only reason I'm dropping price is because that's kind of actually what I'm going to be talking about. So, and I paid $149 just for her kit. Felicity is one of the real born babies from a Bountiful Baby, and her kit runs around $69. A significant price drop, and that's going to be significant as well. And this is her little face. She's going to be a custom. She's going to be a not mixed baby. Gosh, I guess yes. She's going to be a mixed baby. She's going to be biracial. That's the word I want to use. So she's going to be a biracial baby. So we're trying to land her color. The person that got her kind of wanted her the same color as one of the other babies I did, but she's a touch darker than I saw this little one's baby picture. She's a touch darker than that. So for that sake, we're going to not make her as dark as that baby, but pretty close, because that was the request. And I think he's trying to get her the same color the child is now, which is fine and it's his choice. And yes, I have my vanilla Java. Ooh, my fave forever. Like, so, but I'm gonna have it way over here so I don't mess up like I did the last time. So while I'm setting up, just a little brief description of what I'm setting up on. I got a paintbrush and I'm going to mix my blue. I'm on the blue stage. I've already done 3 layers of skin, which you can barely tell, but if I held the little, let me see if you can tell how she's a little bit darker, not by much, and that's what you want. But let me explain something about this kit is that she has a lot of little places for extra paint to hide. So, unfortunately or unfortunately, as adorable as her little crevices are, I have to pay close attention with each layer of color, making sure that I'm not over leaving like too much colors in the holes, in the little crevices, because it's not going to look right. And like, gosh, I think I may have gotten a touch too much blue in there. We don't need a lot of blue. And as per usual, when I paint, I get a little bit quieter, but we are going to add some more thinner to this because I grabbed a whole bunch of blue, and believe it or not, the blue goes a long way. And I'm pretty sure y'all know it goes a long way because I've told you that already. Okay, so now to my discussion while I am painting, just now that you know what's going on, what I'm doing. And this is custom number 1 of 2. Apparently, I have another custom coming. But I'm going to get with that person and make sure I get the size that she wants, etc., because I'm not really sure she wants anything like this. Is actually a brand new, spanking brand new order of that this person was like, "Hey, saw you work one a doll for me," so that's kind of awesome. Yeah, and I don't technically do customs just simply because they do kind of take a while, and I can't really guarantee a time because I have a real, not a real, but this is real, but I have a outside job. That's how I should put it. Now, I'm not gonna do that. I already said that. I was going to do like the little dot of blue on the nails. We're not gonna do that because I remember the last time I did this kit, she's so small that, and she has so many crevices that you spend more time wiping it off than putting it on. But we are gonna give her a few faint veins once I figure out what I did with that brush that fast. Okay, I found it. All right, I got it. We're gonna give her a few faint, and when I say faint, I mean extremely faint because again, she's supposed to be a newborn. She's gonna have veins, but with all the crevices and stuff, we're pretty much be like the salmon swimming up tide or something because it's gonna be kind of hard. So now to the opinion part. Now that I have shot the breeze, now we're gonna get to the opinion part. Okay, the opinion part was the person was, I said I wasn't going to mention names, but they were saying about how bad it was to get kits from overseas. And to the extent that they said they lost all respect for someone who did. And I believe the person was saying, because I'm not going to put words in their mouth, that's purchasing a done kit and purchasing a kit that you're going to do, period. Like, no respect for them at all. And that person is entitled to their opinion on that because they're saying, well, this artist spent umpteen hours doing this kit, and now you're coming back and buying one that kind of looks like it, but it's not it. And you are buying that kit instead of the uh, artist's work. Okay, so my first observation to that is not everyone can afford to drop $200 on a kit, nor, as using the person's word, is it a necessity. So nobody goes, if I don't get a a reborn doll today, I'm going to die. No, that's not going to happen. You're not going to die if you never ever get a reborn. You're not going to die. That being said, using their own words, why do you care if they decide not to pay $1,000 something for a kit when they can get it for possibly not even 100? And of course, the phrase is you get what you pay for. Well, if they're willing to pay for not so best work, who are you to pretty much categorize them as a bad person for doing it? And that is my opinion. Now, on the flip side of being like an artist, because I work with both, and that was the other thing. But when I work with both, I don't sell my kits that I do get from overseas. One, I'm kind of like not the person to sit up there and go, oh, this looks like a da 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 kit. I'm looking at it and go, oh, she's cute. I'm gonna buy that kit. So that's kind of one of the ways I differ. Now, if you're purposely buying a kit from overseas and trying to pass it off as an original, then I will be happy to agree with them that that's like totally wrong and you shouldn't do that. That's awful because you are saying, "Hey, I paid a whole lot of money for this kit, so now I want you to pay a whole lot of money for this kit," when it's not true. Now, on the flip side, and even they agree, if I buy an original kit and I try to quote unquote flip that kit and sell it for a whole lot of money, then that's wrong too. And the person happens to agree on that, but the person buying a cheaper kit, is, not to say the devil, because he didn't say that. I don't want to put in a word, but he did say he would lose our respect for them. And I kind of feel like you're going to lose respect for somebody for their opinion, and for your opinion, rather. And that to me is wrong. Why, like, how are you going to lose respect for someone because of something they did because you don't do it? Now, that being said, like I said, when I get the cheaper kits, one, I don't say, oh, this is a da 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 kit. Case in point, the kit that I have on now is an overseas kit. I had someone PM me or message me and go, is that a Levi kit? I'll go ahead and say the name because it's not relevant. And to be honest, my honest answer was, I don't know. I don't think it is because I didn't get it from wherever the person that I got it from was on eBay too. So, and nor did they even say, hey, this is a Levi kit. So I took the time and looked up the Levi kit because now I'm curious and I'm nosy. So I'm like, how much is this Levi kit that this person is trying to find out if that's what I'm selling? One, a Levi kit, to sell the Levi kit, the kit, just the blank parts, not the finished product, is well over $100. So she kind of, I think, answered your own question, because why on earth would I sell a kit for less than 100 for that would cost me more than 100 to even get the kit? So unless she or he, because you never know, was thinking they were going to catch me in a lie, and I don't lie. I always tell the truth about where I get my kits from. And just like the case in point, the Felicity Kit and the more expensive kits, they usually come with COAs. So it's kind of like not possible to play around and say, hey, I got this kit and here's the COA for it. So the more expensive kits usually come with COAs. You can squint one eye if they tell you, oh, I got so and so kit, but hey, I don't know what a COA is. That's when you know you're finna get lied to. Because the more expensive kits, and think about it, if you pay over $100 for a kit, it better come with a COA and proof of purchase. Like the doll that I'm doing for myself came with one, and she's 213 of 2000 and something. So, and that will bring me to my other point. the other point that the person was making was they are losing money because you're buying an overseas kit. If I am purchasing a 200, almost $200 kit, and the kits that are a little bit more than that are selling out, they're not losing any money, because collectors, people who are like, this is their thing, and professional doll makers, like this is their living, are not going to sell shoddy products, and they're not going to sell a cheaper kit. They're going to get exactly what they're trying to advertise. And if I'm trying to advertise like the Gabriella kit, we'll just use her since I used her earlier. If I'm saying, hey, here's the Gabriella kit, I'm gonna be like, look, and if you look on her thing, I don't think it does now because I took summer pictures. She had her winter pictures, but in one of her winter pictures, she's actually holding her COA, which means I'm saying, hey, look, this is an expensive kit. It was expensive for me to make. So my price is going to reflect that. Now, now, I have no respect for someone who is trying to pass off a kit as something it's not. Now, but if you purchased a kit and say, look at my reborn, and I'm not gonna disrespect you because you should be proud of something you purchased. Like you should be, if you love it, you love it. Nobody gonna tell you. That's just like somebody saying, "Oh, I bought a mixed breed dog." Let's flip it around a little bit. I bought a mixed breed dog, and now I have to live in shame because it's not a full bred. Who are you to tell me I can't love my dog because he's not full bred? That's the same concept. That if you look at it like that, that's my point. Like, okay, so I bought a doll that just so happened to be what they call unbranded or no name doll, and now I'm supposed to live in shame for the rest of my life because I did so. Well, my dog, case in point, is a mutt. Not well, that's what y'all call him. So yeah, he's a little mutt, but he's my mutt, and he's a spoiled mutt, and he gives me the same love and affection that a purebred would give, and I could ask for nothing more from him. And he loves me the same way. He do the same stupid stuff a purebred would do, as far as like when he was a puppy and all his little shenanigans. And I could get into all his little shenanigans, but we won't. But my point being is that I get as much love and enjoyment out of him than I would if I had to pay $1,800 for a purebred dog. It's still gonna bark. It's still gonna eat food. It's still gonna go to the bathroom. It's still gonna chew stuff as a puppy. And most purebreds, if there's a little side thing that a lot of people don't know or touch on, most purebreds have medical problems. So, because they are, I don't know if it's in the breeding. I don't know. I don't know dogs. I just see a dog I love and get it. But in the same concept with the dolls, actually. But I see a kitten, I like it, I get it. I do it and decide whether I want to keep it for myself or if it was just something to practice on. So that's my opinion. Of course, like I said, I'm not attacking anyone. I dropped no names. Wasn't the point of the video. The point was to say, hey, to say you disrespect someone for doing it. That's kind of strong, but at the same time, that person has every right to their opinion. And so for me not to judge him, and I'm expecting him not to judge me. Like I said, it's only if he stumbles on my video. He may never see it, but you know. Okay, so that's on that. Now, guys, do my observation on air dry versus Genesis heat set. For the record, this is Genesis heat set right here. The one I'm doing right now. I'm using Genesis heat set paint. So, I personally cannot do air dry paint. I accept that. I accept that knowledge, and I humbly say anyone who can make air dry work, kudos to you. That's awesome. And I've seen people who paint an air dry doll, and it's awesome. So I can't say, well, it's not even workable. You can't work in it. And I know it's user error, and I'm just For me personally, I could not, and I've tried, and I tried, and I've tried with an ethnic baby. I tried with a Caucasian baby, and the Caucasian baby actually turned out doable, if that's the word, usable. But even though he turned out usable or doable, or what they say, I guess, like I can live with his painting, it was like not my best work. I wouldn't put him in the category of, oh, this was my best work ever, nor nor will I go, oh, go get you some, air dry paint, because that's the bee's knees and the end all of paint world. No, I'm going to tell you not to get air dry paint, because I'm just saying I personally did not like the results. I thought he came out, when he finished drawing, he was a little on the chalky side. I can't really explain it, but those of you who've worked with air dry paint probably can tell me better of what I'm experiencing with his color and how he found like his end results and everything. But for me personally, I mean, if I'm going to spend the money, and I spent like almost $60 on the paint, so it wasn't like I bought cheap paints to learn air dry. I bought like really expensive paint. So it was an expensive lesson to learn, but it was indeed a lesson. So instead of struggling and putting on and taking off paint over and over again, my conclusion was that I'll stick with what I know, which is Genesis He said. Now, that being said, my version of the African American just really was a true disaster. And I was really sad about it, because I think I stripped that baby one time too many, which means now not only did I lose the money on the paints because they didn't turn out the way I wanted them, but now I've lost the money on the kits, because I don't think the kit can be recovered. Now, here is where buying a cheaper kit that, my world should end because I did, comes in handy. She was $30. What if I had tried to do that with a $200 kit and failed miserably, like I actually and ultimately did? But now I spent $200 and I've wasted $200. I'd much rather have gotten an overseas kit and practiced on it and learned that I didn't like it on it, or even if I learned that I did like it on it, I wish I would have much rather done, but it didn't turn out that way. So learning that I can't do it on a $30 kit, to me, and I don't care whose opinion or whose feet I step on, is a heck of a lot better than learning that I can't do something on a almost $200 kit. And so that's the other reason why I'm like, yeah, by all means, especially if you're first starting out, nobody's gonna tell you. Nobody tells you to get an expensive computer and you don't know how to run a computer. Nobody makes you get a brand new car to learn how to drive. They usually put you in the oldest thing they have in the yard and pray to God that you don't wreck and kill them in that. So I think the reborn world should be the same way. And like I said, at the end of the day, the person who purchased it is getting what they're paying for. As long as you're being honest about it. And that's the main thing. Like, don't sit up here. When I get the overseas kits, I tell you it's an overseas kit. I don't sit up here and tell you this is the case in point, like the lady said, this is that a Levi kit? No, it's not. I don't even to be, was gonna tell her, hey, I don't even know who Levi is, or that he had a kid, So, but I didn't go there. But I did. I was like, no, it's not. It's an overseas kit. It's as listed in the profile. And truth in advertisement. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell this lady she was getting something she wasn't. And whether that might be a sale I don't get, then it's a sale I don't get. But when the person gets him or her, because I put it where they can change it to whatever sex they would like it to be, they're gonna know exactly what they're getting, and they're not gonna have overpaid because they're knowing what they're getting. And when my overseas dolls, the ones that I did that costed a little bit more, they also came with like accessories. I paid for the hair. I paid for this. I paid for that, etc., etc. I didn't do it for free 99. Nor did I advertise that at the same time, going back to it, I did not tell you it was a expensive kit. I told you it was an unbranded kit that I reborn. So I took my time, I did my effort, I put my time in it, and you're getting the fruits of my labor. Now I got him while we talked on this thing, and we're not even 30 minutes in. Look at me doing it kind of quick. So this little girl is actually going to a coworker and reinforcing some of the blue while I'm talking, but trying to make it. She's little babies have little kind of veins that kind of pop out and stuff you want seen. So we're going to do that because she's a biracial. We are gonna put when we do the crevices. We're going to enforce the ears and things like that. So we're gonna look at the other parts because, like I said, the paint pools on this doll. You may have missed that from the beginning, but it pools on this doll really, really well, which is not a good thing. It makes her adorable, but it makes painting her really hard. I'm gonna kind of darken her eyelids with this blue, just a hint of blue, because we're not gonna do the purpley thing. So, which I know some artists do. I know it's a step, but I kind of it's a step I'm not comfortable with making, so it's a step I don't take. But we're gonna make make her have like a hint of blue over her eyes, and hopefully when we do the come back with our red, it's going to be worth it. They'll blend them together, and it'll make the effect we're looking for. Um, Maybe yes, maybe no, and because we are painting it light, you can't really see what I've done, but I'm pretty excited. But like I said, I'm making sure there's no blue pooling anywhere. No, and the brown, we can still double check the brown while it's still kind of low, still kind of low tier because we're coming back with the red tomorrow. Actually, I'm painting her a layer a day, taking my time with her, getting her right because she's pretty much already sold. So you want to do your best. So I'm taking my time with her, getting her nice and building up those layers. So her blue looks really great. Ah, so, all right. I honestly forgot what I was going to talk about. Oopsie. I'm pretty sure it was important too. Okay, so when you're buying a kit, this is like I said, it's just my opinion. You do what you want to do. You do what you feel you need to do. But don't let nobody's like somebody shaming you from getting wings at like why would you buy wings from whatever place you go instead of so and so because they do. I feel like reborning like and like I said, even the person said, it's not something you absolutely have to do. So if it's not something you absolutely have to do, there should be no law about how you absolutely do it. Like, and your money. I personally, I mean, here's the reality. If you get a overseas doll, you're gonna get what you pay for. You're not gonna get someone's love, time, and attention. You're not gonna get someone's work. Someone did not sit there and put veins. Nobody sat there. When you get the overseas doll, they're usually not weighted correctly, and they're usually what I call factory painted, which means they hit what most would consider like if you went to the store and bought a doll, that's where you're gonna see highlights on the quote unquote reborn that you buy overseas. So that being said, now if you turn around and you buy that reborn, then hey, what they say, you get what you pay for. And when you start spending money on the reborn and you still get something from overseas, then of course you'd be mad. But when you get into the thousands, you expect that doll to look like it's gonna jump up and go play. But you're going to like you should get what you pay for. So that goes another thing. So um and if you can't afford that, but that's what you want, then you save up for it. Like the rest of the world, like any other thing that you want. If you don't have enough money, you save up for it and you get it. You get what you want so you can be happy. But at the same time, you don't go for broke because somebody said, oh, you're a horrible person because you bought a doll from overseas. Come on, give me a break. It's just a doll at the end of the day. And to be honest, I did the calculations, and just on the one that I have, even if the person only sold 20 of those dolls, I'm sorry, 200 of those dolls, they walk away with $20,000. And that's a good bit of money. So if this person is selling 2,000 of them, they're not losing any meals. And the fact that those kits are selling out means they're not losing any money. So if my broke self can't afford that and go get a get a kit from somewhere else, they're not really sitting up there going, oh, someone just bought a kit from overseas. Now I've lost 200. Nah, they're not. Let's stay in reality. And yes, it's their work. And if your work is good enough, people are gonna buy it. That's just how it goes. Even with Bountiful Baby, where their prices are a touch cheaper, the kits that are good, case in point, this is actually my third Felicity Kit. If it's good enough, they're gonna get it. If it's cute enough and they can make it to something really nice, they're gonna get that kit. No worries. No, you don't have to worry about it. Now, that being said, but that's my opinion. It really kind of irked me that this person was like, I have no respect for a person. Now, how can you lose respect for a person for having an opinion other than yours? Let's not not go there. Let's not do that, because the same way, and then ironically, this is the same person that got offended because someone else had an opinion about them. So, you can't have it both ways. You can't be offended because somebody had an opinion about something else and you didn't like that opinion, and so now you had 1,000 things to say, and then you turn around and say, but here's why I'm not gonna like someone. Come on, let's be real. So that's just my 2 cents. And I am going to finish up my day. I do have to actually go to my other job. I'm not going to say my real job. I'm going to say my other job, and create some magic there, and finish my coffee, get dressed, or what have you. And if you haven't taken your COVID shot, go on ahead and do it. Not to say this is not a quick plug on COVID, but at the same time, safe and sorry and all that kind of good stuff. And don't get me started on, well, the government's experimenting and blah, 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 blah. That I know that's a whole nother can of worms. But I did get mine, and hopefully I'll survive it. I still got my second one, and hopefully I'll survive that too. I did get sore the first time, but hindsight, I'm really glad I did, because I feel better. I feel more protected. So when the rest of the world that's not getting their shot is walking around, at least I feel like I have some kind of protection. And hopefully one day I can go to work and not wear a mask. That would be life, because that mask is wearing me out. But whether you got the shot or not, please be safe and stay safe. And have a great rest of your day. And I might pop in tomorrow. Probably leaning towards not. It depends on how tired I am tonight after this shot and working. And we'll see you next time. And if you haven't, if you're new, hit that like and subscribe. And we will see you next time on Kitten's Corners. Have a great afternoon, guys.